everything wrong and right
And right.
with A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. You're more adverse and knowledgeable in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise than I am, but I know a bad movie when I see it, and I watched this again. I saw it theatrically only
Hmm.
once, and I had a lot of thoughts on this. So why don't we start off? Do you each want to pick
Yeah,
one, or
we
how do
could
you want
just
to do it?
well, you just seen it recently. What was your gut instinct? Because I have not watched it in a while. This is probably the least Elm Street I've probably seen Freddy's Dead more than this.
Oh, yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. I get
Yeah.
it. Okay, so first reaction is it didn't need to be done. If you're going to do it something different or better. I don't know how you can do it better, but gut reaction was it was a great idea, great story thrown into a 2010 subpar horror film template. You could have switched the title with, you know, Vengeance of a Gardener. Uh, I don't know what the gardener's doing living in a basement. Like, is the
Should
gardening really that hectic? You need an on-site gardener to trim flowers? But whatever. I don't know. I feel like A Nightmare on Elm Street deserved more. And for me, Robert Englund is so iconic. I mean, I'm sorry, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, you can interchange them because it's a mask for the most part.
yeah.
But it's Robert Englund is Freddy. It's like putting somebody else in Indiana Jones for the
Hmm.
horror. Like, I don't know how you do that, but there were some things I liked, but overall, I'm not a fan of this film. I'm sorry. Sorry if you like it, people.
I'm sure some people do. I thought my alternative title would be That Damn Preschool. Uh,
That damn,
which
that damn preschool.
that damn preschool is no good. Yeah, I remember at the time because I'm like, same thing as a fan. I was like, at this point, like there were so many remakes. There's like, well, everything's gonna be, nothing's safe anymore. So let's see what they do with it. I'll give it a chance. But yeah, same thing as like it just brought no emotion, no scares, no. Oh, that was, but that
Right,
was my
right.
first instinct. And like I said, I haven't obviously I did some locations 10 plus years ago, but that was probably the last time I actually kind of watched it because yeah, why would you? So
Well, your
good.
locations made me want to watch it. Like
Yeah,
they're good locations.
yeah. Like maybe I missed something,
Right. Yeah, no,
yeah.
they're good. Like okay, so I'll just add one thing I did like
Yeah, should we
was
start with the positive? Let's start with the positive.
let's start with the
Yeah.
positive. I'm just gonna add this in
Yeah.
was I did like the setting of the old abandoned preschool and how they went there. I thought that was creepy and kind of cool. Um, and I guess I'll just crowbar that in with number what you said. The cinematography is okay. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not horrible. There were some shots I could see other films of that low budget films that area doing cliche kind of.
Yeah.
I thought the cinematography was okay. It's
Yeah.
no the original,
No.
but it's okay. Okay, I'll give it that.
Yeah, it was okay. And looking back from I remember, or just seeing my screenshots, it was kind of that continually overcast, kind of, but it wasn't this kind of cartoonish Elm Street for, where everything was lit red and green and,
Is that the one with the
um,
movie theater box? That's
yeah.
yeah,
So, which is fine for the time, but it's just like that probably would not work in 2010 nor 2026.
good
But
call.
that's what it was okay, but like nothing was like, oh, such memorable shots. There really wasn't a one, but
Right.
it
No,
was
there's not.
serviceable. That's what I said. Cinematography is serviceable, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I probably agree. The preschool made sense for them to all be in the same place, because at least, you know, they kind of was the preschool I was supposed to be on Elm Street. I thought I might have seen a Elm Street sign at one point, but
That's a good
maybe not.
question.
I can't remember.
Yeah. It made sense though that that worked that they all went there kind of
Yeah.
thing.
But yeah, so and I thought for like you said, you can't you can't. and he is an icon, for Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. It's like, why would you tr even try, to
Right.
to kind of one up? You can't do better than that. Can you do a more evil version? Maybe, you could,
Yeah.
but I did say at least, if you like it or not, the makeup they were trying to go down to a more realistic route of an actual burn
Yes.
victim. And so I
Yes.
was like, okay, that's something which rings truer,
It's a good
because
point.
we did quickly get to get Pizza Face,
Right. Yeah.
later in the film. So
And I feel like that worked for them, and that they didn't try to um, just rip off Robert Englund. Like, Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger is there's a lot of comedy in there, and they kind of toned that down a little bit and try to make it more of a realistic approach, which I
yeah,
give props for that.
yeah,
Like, I like that. I mean, he was a good job as an actor. Like, he was kind of creepy enough, and it worked. It
yeah,
worked. Technically,
uh,
the burns, like you said, they were more accurate, which like worked.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it that. Um, I was gonna say, apologies. I'll let you mention I'll say just Clancy
Okay.
Brown. I love.
Yeah,
He's a great character actor. He worked in that. I was glad to see a face like that and not just some random.
yeah. No, for sure. And Connie Britton, I always
Yeah,
love. Um, uh,
Faye
she's a
Resnick and O.J. Simpson.
there's yeah, I don't know, and it kind of made me uh want more of the parents. The parents kind of like this kind of goes in the wrong, but it's like I could have used more Connie Britton scenes,
Yeah,
uh, because it is for both all of them, it's the parents' fault,
yeah,
But
absolutely.
and so, but I was like, I think more scenes would have been effective, but they're going through the old horror movie trope. It's like the parents can't be accessible, but I was just like, I do love her, and I wish they should have filled out even more parents, maybe, because yeah,
Yes,
yeah, get
that would
Sharon
have been
Stone in
good.
there, yeah,
Yeah, throw in Michael Douglas to be like that. Gardner was trashy. He's a trashy guy. Vaguely,
yeah,
vaguely.
but
Yeah,
uh,
it
but yeah,
more Connie Britton would have been nice too.
yeah,
I do
yeah,
like her
yeah.
character.
Um, I did kind of like I think they called them micro sleeps, which were kind of naps,
Yeah. Oh,
where
is that what that
they're
is?
kind
Okay.
of nodding off and stuff like that. Like I think she nodded off in the bookstore because that happens. I was like, yeah, there's a couple like you're not quite asleep but on the verge, and
Yeah.
and so I was like, oh, they. I like that concept. They could have same thing. They could have ran with it a little bit more. Maybe not, but I was like,
Oh,
I kind
right.
of like I like that they kind of introduced that. It wasn't just
That's a
yeah,
that's a really good point because
yeah,
as you mentioned, there's a scene. This one I think was in the supermarket where he's falling asleep. Maybe it was at the pharmacy, and
yeah,
he kind of nods off, and it blinks back and forth from reality
yeah,
to the dream, and he's the thing like that. That worked really well.
yeah,
The micro sleeps could have been, I think, utilized more.
yeah. So and it's realistic. Like if you've not, we all know what it's like when you're tired, where you're kind of nodding and stuff like
You
that.
get
So
up.
but
I always do that on a plane where I wake up like, and I'm just
yeah.
like, did anyone see
Have
me?
you ever seen? But did I
Did
just jolt 6 feet out of my seat?
right?
And I'll just tell you, yes, we all saw it, but we're acting like we didn't to
Yeah,
be
we're all
nice.
pretending just to
Yeah,
be
like
there.
everybody's like, Jesus Christ.
What is this guy? What is this
Yeah.
loser doing up here?
What are you doing? Falling asleep on the plane?
You fool! Get him! Why?
Weakling.
Weakling. Why you want to get me?
Uh,
Um, you put down was actually Midwest.
yeah, so I think it's supposed to take place in Ohio, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. But of course, everywhere they're like Venice canals, and they're just like it's like and they all the things indicate it is not in the Midwest. But I think in even Freddy's Dead they kind of double down, and Freddy versus Jason, like, yeah, this is upper Midwest or kind of as veered towards the East Coast.
Right,
Just
you're
like
absolutely
it
right.
is certainly not Los Angeles. So
Right. Oh, good call on that. Yeah, the
but
Venice Canal one's great. Where you're like,
yeah, well,
yeah,
even I mean there's a palm tree behind, Johnny Depp, and at least in Halloween they tried to keep the palm trees on the back, like
they
skirt
made an
around them a
effort.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not Wes Craven. It's like It's Ohio, people.
It's Ohio, guys. The palm trees are fake.
You know uh,
Relax.
the uh, the canal bridges in Springwood.
That is funny. I mean, I get it makes good cinematography, but like,
Yeah,
guys, it's pretty much, yeah.
yeah,
So I do give it. I do. I agree with you on that one.
yeah.
I think
But
that's it for the goods though, because it,
that's the best I can muster.
yeah, like you wouldn't watch this again, would you? Or maybe
There's just no need. Even when we were going through my screenshots, I was like, well, I was like, no,
no.
I don't think this would be even a hotel watch.
Oh, so if you're referring to Robert's movie rating list, it would be.
I don't know what that would be.
I tell
Uh,
you what it is. Hotel viewing only is 3 stars, so two
okay.
stars is a movie to fold laundry by. Would you give it that?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'd rather be in silence, staring at the wall, folding t-shirts.
Well, then that's 0 stars. Perfect
I'd
DVD
probably put zero.
posters.
Yeah. So
Yikes. Yeah, I
ugh,
can't fault you
I don't
there.
know. Sorry.
I put down, you said this last week, sorry, but the actors are too old to be. I mean, Mara is like Joaquin Phoenix's wife. I mean, I know this movie's 16 years old, but she's like 26, 27 in this
Yeah.
playing like a, I guess they're driving, so like 16-year-old.
16, 17. I think usually they're kind of the magic age of 17 in horror movies. But yeah, and the girl that plays the Tina character, I think, but it's called Chris. Like she's like
Oh,
way
right,
too, yeah, it was
Chris,
like,
Tina.
yeah. Um, but yeah, is that Stifler's mom? I don't know. You're like,
Right. By the way, I noticed something too where
yeah,
she sleeps with all of her makeup on, and it's not just movie makeup. It's like I mean, girls don't do that. They wash their face. She just the whole time she's in this perfect like prom ready makeup, and then she's like, "I'm just gonna go to bed." It's like you just like walked around all day in that, don't you? Like it's weird. A lot of horror movies just have the movie makeup on for bed, but she's like
yeah,
lipstick and everything. I'm like, I don't think a girl that prissy and done up is just gonna like go to bed. They like
yeah.
take care of themselves.
And I think you need to have some realism when you're trying to do something like this because I don't know any teenage girls, but I can guarantee they probably have their uh, hair up in a ponytail and makeup off, and then
Right.
the band, you know, whatever at the end in sweats, you know, this. And I
Yeah.
get there's you certain things you take kind of with movie logic, but it's just yeah, seems like, well, who is this girl?
The movie logic, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
just lays like going to bed. I'm like, okay.
yeah,
And then she wakes up at 2 a.m. and everything's still perfect. And I'm like, I get it. It's
yeah.
funny you can see the makeup now with 4K
Oh,
hired TVs. You can see like the different colors. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
You can see it a
This
lot. You're like, wow, that's a lot. And it looked
this
fine at the time.
yeah. It's
You're like,
not, but
that's a lot. But yeah,
and you were talking about kind of the acting in general is not could be much better, I guess.
I thought so. I
Yeah,
mean, even a lot of it were the parents that weren't Connie Britton and uh, Clancy
Clancy.
Brown.
Yeah,
They were kind of just like, well, this is for his daughter, and let's get him. And I just, I don't know. The chick's mom wasn't very good.
yeah.
Not Connie Britton, the other one, who's like,
The stewardess or
yeah, what five? Yeah, right. This
yeah,
the flight attendant, whatever. Was like, what 5-year-old remember that? Come on for dinner. Like, I know she was trying to portray someone trying to not bring up a secret, but
yeah.
we could have done better. It wasn't great. It like
No,
really wasn't.
and they didn't give him too much to play with either. I guess I'm thinking of the script because um I don't know. Well, let's say like for the Halloween 2018 kind of sporting teenagers, they have some memorable and sometimes I think the Vicky character, the blonde gal. I mean, she was actually kind of more uh engaging than the lead, you know.
Yeah, she
Um,
was.
uh,
She
yeah.
was.
But it's like, yeah, you kind of like these kids, and then you felt bad when they did get killed. These, I think, do you have any emotion? You're just like, all right, like,
Right. Yeah. You were just like, okay, all right. I don't get it. Like the guy in the beginning in the diner. He's supposed to be a
yeah,
teenager. He's like a
yes,
30-year-old surfer. Like I
yeah,
don't.
yeah, and he was in the comeback,
Oh,
way back
really?
then. Yeah, and I think he was supposed to be a teenager way back then, you know, in
Yeah.
2003 or whenever. It was like, he was already too old, or he wasn't supposed to be a teenager. I think he was supposed to be anyway. But
I mean, he looks at least 28. Like
yeah,
he's 25 at the time,
yeah,
maybe. But yeah, it was interesting choice. Yeah, so the acting wasn't great. Maybe you can answer this question
Yeah.
for me. I had one about the photograph that Nancy's mother kept. So it was
Oh,
inside a drawer underneath. Like, why keep it at all if you're trying to hide it? And how did
well,
she find it? I don't get that. I
that's
didn't
what
get
we
that whole
call
thing.
the movie drawer.
Is that what in the movie
Yeah, that
drawer?
is, yeah. Because like anything that you need to find, no matter what I'm talking about, from everything from this to National Treasure to what, like you open up drawer number three, it's like, here it is.
Here it is, right there.
I found, I found the missing invoices. It's right here.
Right for the taking.
He rented it from Alamo.
Right.
Like it was just like it's all that's like always the movie drawer. And like here it is. I'm like, I can't find anything, let
I have
alone
to keep lists to remember where I left something.
yeah. But it's always kind of right there. It's like, but yeah, there's always a like I just couldn't throw it away.
Just
I
couldn't
just
throw it
like yeah,
away.
there was no way to discard of it except for, but
In perfect condition too. No folds or creases. All the
yeah.
names are on the back. Why don't you
Yeah.
just put that back? So why were they hiding the secret anyway? To protect themselves from killing him, or they was afraid he'd come back?
Probably. Yeah, I
It
think
wasn't
that's why
established.
you've seen it more recently, so you'd probably remember. Obviously, nobody wants to go to jail, so I don't. Um,
Right.
yeah, but
Because it was
did nobody care? I mean, I think even the worst of police forces would be investigating either a dead or missing person. But
well, I think so. Because
yeah,
1980, you're talking when the original came out. Was it 1980?
84.
I'm sorry. Was it
Yeah,
84?
yeah,
84 came out. You figure the kids were 16. So you're going back to at least 1968,
mm,
67.
yep,
All right. Police detective work wasn't as high tech as it was today, but this film, 2010, you're thinking this is the mid 90s. They probably would go to the police knowing that they would get an investigation
yeah,
started and they would definitely investigate him being missing. So
yeah,
that was kind of a weird, you know, they never
yeah.
found his body in there. I don't know.
I
It's
don't know.
just kind of I won't question. I'm not going to go that deep into it.
Unless it took place in Gatlin, Nebraska. Otherwise,
Gat heading
people
for
would be paying attention.
there's no map. All the street signs are just turn left. Didn't we just see that before? We're going around. I'm going to get help. I
Uh,
put down why I appreciate the books in the library, because I do. I think we should promote that. Do they really need to still be like, according to this old book, the Cthulhu was saying? I mean, they have their laptop there. They're using that rip off Google
yeah,
search engine. Like,
yeah.
they really have to get books out with that were literally just cartoon, drawings. It's like, here it says that the sleep masters. Okay, like I guess that's
It
makes
goes
good
back to
cinematography.
movie language, which even in current movies, I don't think anybody kind of questions it, because we're so used to seeing it, that we're like, oh, we need to go find this such and such, and it's
Right,
usually in the book. So now there's ways around that, for future screenwriters is like if something's been scrubbed from the internet or whatever, is like, yeah, this you can't find
right.
this anywhere. It's only,
Public records on a
or something like that.
microfiche or
Yeah, or
something.
something like that. There's like this is the only way you can find such and such. But but
Right,
yeah, so this all now they would just throw it into Chat GPT and figured it out. I was like, oh, apparently we were all molested in our preschool.
right. Apparently, it's so true though.
AI figured it out for us. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Uh, no, that's a good point. So I thought that was just kind of weird that they're
which
still looking at the books.
it got me thinking because I was thinking with the upcoming the was this the third Carrie remake, because I'm like, is she gonna find a book on telekinesis again, or is it gonna be, are we gonna
Oh,
do,
we got to
do something else? I don't know.
chat
Well,
GPT. Right.
if she finds a book, then
Then
yeah.
that's a really good point to
And
look
if
out
Carrie
for.
finds a picture of her dad in a drawer, then you know.
The movie drawer. Oh, here it is. It's
Yeah.
everything we were looking for the last 2 days
Yeah.
in
Now,
his drawer.
once you see the movie drawer, you'll never be able to. Yeah, you're like, there's the movie drawer. They
Oh, I
found it.
won't. Oh,
Yes.
now I'm going to think about that. I could go down a wormhole actually, just thinking about movies that are coming to mind where they find the drawer and they're like,
That could
I
be your next blog after your police uniform blog.
movie drawers.
Yeah.
I still use pencil as a login and keep it written and crossed out because you know how
Everything
Microsoft
else.
makes you change
Oh
it
yeah.
every like 3 months. I do like the same too, and it's like pencil, and we know pencil from
War games.
war games, but that still holds in your mind too, right?
Yeah,
Pencil.
I still use variations of pencil. Not for my home. But way back when at work we had to first create a password. It was like pencil. That
Pencil.
was the first this first one we used right away. So
And you
we've
can change.
changed it since, people, so don't worry.
Don't
But
worry.
yeah.
But you can
But
change your grades all of a sudden.
yeah, I went back and changed my grade.
I'm an A plus.
I was just talking about war games actually. I was at a panel for AI and philanthropy, and we're talking about how one, there's kind of about how different people use it, and some people kind of argue back and forth with it, and how it once it begins to know you, it starts to telling you what you like to think or what they think that what you think you would like, even if it's the wrong answer or whatever. And then we're talking about how it's going to start making decisions for you, which we're probably about three steps away from, where you're like,
Yeah.
tell me what to think about that. And I was like, the Whopper from War Games, it's gonna just
The
like.
Whopper.
uh,
Yeah.
probably because obviously we're in the middle of a unnecessary war. That it could be the same thing. I was thinking it was like I think the best thing is to do this. It's like all right,
All right. Let's just
global
agree.
thermonuclear war.
Oh, it's so good. Let's
That's
be the Russians.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good that's true though. I mean, you're
but
right.
yeah. Now
Um,
that big Whopper is probably in our phone. The
right. The whole
that
thing is
that 8 foot by 8 foot cube of machine.
it's like 100 megabytes of like a
Yes.
file now.
Uh,
It's interesting the space shuttle, the original, like from the 70s, 80s. There we have more technology in our phone than that shuttle had,
it's crazy.
like
Yeah.
computers. It was all analog. Okay, so just for Nightmare on Elm Street, it had the same ending final kill as Freddy vs. Jason in the
Mm.
sense that Monica Keene is like, "Go to hell, bitch," or "Eat this, bitch." This one, she says the same thing. With
Place
yeah,
your
she's
bets.
like get a bet, and she cuts him. It's like, all right. I don't know. It's just so cliche at the time. I get it. It's like you want to pump kids up, but I don't know.
Um, yeah, I don't,
Kind of a
and this were,
disappointing kill is my point. It was just that's
yeah,
it. Okay, I guess they got him.
it's hard. I mean, like, and that's the thing. If you don't stick the landing, then doesn't even if it was a good movie up to then, if you don't stick the landing, it just never works. People leave there like, "Bleh." Um, but yeah, so yeah, this is their chance to try something else. I go back. I've talked before about the Psycho remake in '98. And
Good point.
there was a rumor at one point because it was supposed to be shot for shot, but there's also this rumor going around beforehand that it's shot for shot up until the shower scene, and then it diverts into a completely, something different, than the
Oh,
original film.
really?
And I was like, ooh, that's kind, like, would that be kind of interesting, to say you think you know what you're in for, and then you're not,
That
so.
would be a nice surprise to kind of
Yeah, then it'd be like, and that way you're like, people are like, you see, you can't read it. It's like, oh, they kind of did something different here. Like she killed him, or I don't know, but
yeah. Why didn't
yeah,
they? I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Shot for
Well,
shot.
anyway,
Maybe
I just remember that was a rumor at the time. I was like, oh, okay, so, but yeah, it's like, can
interesting.
you imagine if they kind of did something where you're like, let's say the first act is following the original Elm Street, whatever, and for somehow it takes some weird diversion or something like where Nancy's killed, and now it's the parents
I'd
to,
appreciate
or
that.
something. Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah, take a risk. I always thought if you're gonna remake a song or a film, it's got to be different. Otherwise, what's the point?
yeah.
Unless it's a rare case where it's better. Um, you put the CGI, the Freddy coming through the wall in the original versus the remake.
Yeah, so I was thinking, obviously, this was
Yeah,
a
good
lot of
call.
CGI, and so I think particularly so, if for those that remember, and actually it was in a lot of the video posters later with Nancy's asleep and Freddy comes through the wall, and that was all physical. There was not any opticals at all. That was a what kind of not spandex, but type thing that he was behind the wall, and he just literally did everything, pushed his face through to come down, and then snapped it back. So.
Yeah,
And so it's like that worked. It was creepy at the time. You're like, you don't know how they did it. It looks almost optical when you see it now. But that was all kind of done on set. Well, of course, now in this version, it's overly and immediately it is. There's
yes,
no, you're not scared for her. Anytime you see CGI, you're not scared for the characters because you're like, oh, they're on the green screen, like, oh
you're
no, I
right.
hope
Yeah,
she's not. Yes.
that's a
But
great point.
yeah, it's like, I don't, you just,
Practical
yeah.
Practical effects always work better.
Practical always works. So
Also, too, the scene where she's on the stairs, the top floor, and they're like they turn into blood, water, or
mm,
whatever. Wasn't as nearly as good for me as walking up the steps where they start turning into the gooey glue. Like
marshmallow. Yeah.
marshmallow, that's unnerving. Like
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
this? And
Now, granted, in the original, you can see the carpet cut out, where before she steps in, it's like, yeah, I get it, like that, but that's kind of
right,
the
you're
fun
right.
part of it too. So,
And practical's better, but you're so right on the CGI with the wall.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And
And the
they,
bathtub they glossed over.
yeah, well, they same thing. They remade, say, like, let's say that this is almost shot for shot for no reason except to like, remember this, folks?
Yes.
Should have could have done something different. That's where they could have killed Nancy, and then the mother would have to like some
Try to cover the
yeah, now
history
what? Yeah,
from.
yeah, calling up Clancy Brown and saying, "We have a problem."
Yeah, right. I would have, but
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
have been
yeah,
a great
yeah,
approach,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, kind of like that spin. So, but anyway, we'll just throw it out there, universe. So whenever they make the next TV series, it'd be all
Follow
about
our
those
leads.
those damn parents and stuff like that. But
It would be it would be like kind of like an it thing, you know?
yeah,
Like we
yeah.
were younger,
Instead of
it's
like and speaking of, I just kind of put because Nancy in this version was she was weak, for
yeah.
lack of a better word, like
Yeah.
and I feel like Heather Langenkamp, like when she was truly a Midwest girl next door, kind of look,
Yeah, so
and
everyone loved her.
yeah, Rooney Mara is not that, even if you tried, yeah, yeah,
No, no, absolutely.
um, and so but it's just the character itself was written to be pretty passive, in my point of view, compared to Nancy, like figuring out herself and her book of booby traps and uh, was it something
Oh, right. Yeah.
personal devices and but yeah, but it's just like, well, I don't. You never cared too much about Rooney. She was kind of mopey to begin with. I was like, I don't think she's not long on this earth to begin with. So
Right. Yeah, she was very
yeah,
slow with that and
no,
you didn't care so much.
mopey, the damn mopey emo kids
Damn
of the
mopey emo
early of the
kids.
2010s.
And
And also put no memorable soundtracks. So I love the original Elm Street soundtrack.
yeah,
And
there's not a
this,
one in here.
I is there you watched it? Is there a theme or anything? I don't remember.
No, I didn't pick up on anything that was memorable
Yeah.
for the soundtrack. So
So that's it, people. Go buy Nightmare.
go buy Nightmare on Elm Street.